We're going to look at sections 5.1 and 5.2, Estar y el presente progresivo, and also a few things from the vocabulary of chapter 5. To begin, we're going to look at las estaciones y los meses del año. Right now estamos en el otoño, ¿verdad? Con septiembre, octubre y noviembre. Y la próxima estación es el invierno, diciembre, enero, febrero. Y luego después tenemos la primavera, marzo, abril y mayo. Y luego el verano, el favorito de todo, junio, julio y agosto. Just a few useful things to know. What is today's date? ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? Meaning, which of the dates is today's date? ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? And we know that with the first day of the month, we use the word in Spanish meaning first. El primero. Es el primero de octubre. And with every date after that, we just use the number. Here's a small number refresher from chapter 1. Es el 2 de marzo. O es el 10 de noviembre. Hoy es el 17 de octubre. Y con el tiempo meaning weather, we know that we use el verbo hacer most of the time. Sometimes we use el verbo estar, and we'll talk about that. ¿Qué tiempo hace? How's the weather? Or like, what weather is it making outside? Hace buen tiempo. The weather's good weather. O hace mal tiempo. You can also have hace calor, o hace frío. Hace mucho calor. Hace mucho frío. Not muy there, right? Y a few times when you don't use it, the verbo hacer is when it rains or it snows. It's raining, el verbo llover, stem changing verb, llueve, o está lloviendo. Or nevar is also stem changing verb, ira y nieva, or está nevando. A few helpful vocab things are in this más vocabulario. Por ejemplo, hace fresco. It feels good outside. It's cool. It's nice. It's fresh. Hace sol. It's sunny. Hace viento. It's windy. Hace mucho sol. Hace mucho viento. También you could also hear está nublado. Like it's clouded. Literally is what it means. Or está muy nublado. It's very cloudy today. Just look at the números ordinales. We know that primero is what we use with the first of the month. There's also many other words in Spanish, like we have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth, and 10th, which are different than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have primer, which occurs before a singular masculine noun, primero or primera, segundo, segunda, tercer, which like primer, before a singular masculine noun, or tercero, tercera, cuarto, cuarta, quinto, quinta, sexto, sexta, séptimo, séptima, octavo, octava, noveno, novena y décimo, décima. Por ejemplo, tenemos, 1, 2, 3, 4, está en el octavo piso, ¿no? Octavo piso. Note that it has to match whatever noun is modifying. Piso and octavo match. But in Spanish, the first floor is usually called la planta baja. La planta baja. Planta and baja matching, ¿no? Now, to look at las condiciones y emociones con el verbo estar, we know that we use, for condition and emotion, we use estar, ¿no? And the other day we looked at these emotions and conditions. Por ejemplo, abierto, aburrido, alegre, avergonzado, things like this. These adjectives describe either the emotion or condition of someone or something. And they also match, typically, in concordancia with whomever you're talking about. For example, if you're male, estoy cansado. Or if you're female, estoy cansada. ¿No? Or the other thing, something being closed. La biblioteca está cerrada. No, it's closed. Pero el estadio, the stadium, está cerrado. It's closed, cerrado. ¿No? Two important expressions to know of estar are estar de buen humor or estar de mal humor, to be in a good mood or to be in a bad mood. Estoy de buen humor, I'm in a good mood. O no estoy de buen humor, not in a good mood, estoy de mal humor. ¿Verdad? Another important thing we're going to look at with the verbo estar is a tense called the present progressive. So both Spanish and English use the present progressive, which consists of the present tense of the verb to be and a present participle of another verb, usually ending in ing, actually always ending in ing in English. Por ejemplo, las chicas están hablando con el empleado del hotel. The girls are talking with the hotel employee. Or estoy pescando, I'm fishing. Estamos comiendo, we're eating. So we're going to look at how to form this and its uses as well. Just a refresher on el verbo estar. Yo estoy, tú estás, él y usted está, nosotros estamos, vosotros estáis, ellos y ustedes están. Just also to remind you, this is la acción del place, no los usos del verbo estar. So the present participle of regular AR, ER, and IR verbs is very easy to form. And it looks like this. You take the infinitive, take off the AR, ER, or IR. For AR verbs, you add the ending ando, kind of like ing in English, to the stem. So hablando. For both ER and IR verbs, you take off the ER, the IR, and add IENDO, yendo, comiendo, or escribiendo. There are a few irregularities here, but there are very few of them. And so it's when the stem of an ER or IR verb ends in a vowel, the present participle usually ends in yendo. It's just to get the same sound, because if you notice, comiendo, escribiendo sounds exactly like yendo. And so when some of these infinitives end in vowels, it could otherwise be an odd noise, like oendo or something with this verb, or traendo with this verb. And they just want them all to be consistent, right? So they add yendo. Por ejemplo, leyendo, el verbo leer, to read. Oyendo, el verbo oír, to hear. Or trayendo, el verbo traer, to bring. There are a few other irregular participles, like yendo for verbo ir, because if you notice, you just take it all away. And so it would just be yendo, pudiendo for poder, being able to, or viniendo, venir. Several other verbs, in fact, have irregular present participles that you'll need to learn. There's also a stem change that occurs in the present participle with IR, stem changing verbs. So any verb that's E to IE, it's also IR in the present tense, is E to I in the present participle. Por ejemplo, prefiriendo. Any verb that's E to I is also E to I in the present participle. Conseguir, yo consigo, is consiguiendo. And any O to UE form, like por ejemplo el verbo dormir, yo duermo, changes to U, durmiendo. Also the verbo morir, to die, muriendo. Just a small grammar point very quickly. And the simple present tense in Spanish, which is yo hablo, tú hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan, has the following three meanings. It also has a lot more common use. I speak, I will speak, like mañana hablo con mi amigo, or I'm speaking, hablo español, something like that. So the present progressive, which is the thing we just looked at, has a very limited use in Spanish, whereas we use it all the time in English. Tomorrow I'm going to the store, today I'm going to study, or I'm doing this. Do know that present progressive in Spanish has a very limited use, which is only to emphasize that something is currently happening. Let's just take a look at the simple present tense, this first one, versus the present progressive. ¿Qué haces hoy? What are you doing today? We translate in English in the same way. Estudio español. I'm studying Spanish. So this is sort of a general time frame of ¿Qué haces hoy? Estudio español. It doesn't have any special sort of meaning attached to it. When you use the present progressive, ¿Qué estás haciendo? It really has the meaning of what are you doing right now, right in this moment. ¿Qué estás haciendo? Estoy estudiando español. Meaning, I'm literally, in this moment right now, I'm studying Spanish. Flipping through my book, reading. No, I just wanted to make this clear so that way you wouldn't overuse the present progressive as we tend to in English.